What is it that you're trying to do here? What do you?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It ain't make money, because I'm stuck. Like everybody else, Carlos was saying, I want to buy my mom a house. Yeah, I do too. Everybody want to buy.
Right.
But one thing I learned about this game early is it's a lonely game. It's a lonely journey. It's really hard. Like my mother didn't support me. She supports me now, but it's one of them things. It's like, this shit is a dream. And you ever try to, dreams are something you do by yourself. You ever have a dream and then try to tell somebody the dream you had? You wake up and be like, hey, here's what I was dreaming. And they be like, really, really? So unicorns, and then what happened? That's the same thing as saying, I want to do something besides be what's already planned out. Plumber, doctor, lawyer, dentist, there's a plan. This thing here is like a leap of faith, and you just keep falling. Now, to answer your question, what I'm trying to do is be righteous.
Get crucial.
I'm hungry. I need some bacon.
Look at this.
Look at it. This is the city I'm in right now. What up, y'all? In this video, we about to be going through a lot of clips and videos surrounding Patrice O'Neal, one of the most underrated, greatest comics to ever live. Gone way too soon, and mostly throughout his career was at odds with the corporate side of Hollywood and all of that type of stuff, right? Like, the guy was a man's man, a straight shooter. Like, in today's society, you would consider him more like a conservative belief type of guy. Meaning he's more no nonsense, them type of men. And we'll be going through a lot of videos showing why that type of man and that type of comic was not useful for the people that are, y'all know I can't say that shit. This all entertainment, man.
Tonight, the whole country is buzzing following Don Imus's comments on his radio show about the Rutgers University women's basketball team.
That's some rough girls from Rutgers, man. They got tattoos and some hardcore hoes. That's some nappy-headed hoes there.
Now, if y'all remember, some people was mad at Patrice O'Neal for so-called defending this dude. But a man like Patrice O'Neal understands how they move in societies like this. When they're trying to do a lot of control tactics, they get one guy to say one thing, and then they say, oh, well, that guy said something, so now everybody else has to be monitored because there's one idiot out here. So guess what? We're going to tell him not to say something, and then guess what? We're going to tell you not to say something.
Our New York studio, comedian, radio personality, Patrice O'Neal. All right.
What's up?
How you doing? Welcome back. Good to see you.
How you doing?
Did the CBS and NBC do the right thing?
No. What are they accomplishing after 2 weeks? And what are they accomplishing? What are y'all trying
Go
to
after him.
accomplish? I don't understand where this is going.
And so, no, seriously, you don't find anything wrong with those comments?
It's something wrong with the comments, but you act like Don Imus and Kramer are like malignant spots, but the whole country.
You say you. I didn't even give you my opinion yet.
White people. I know what your opinion is,
White
John.
people.
Yes, and that whole thing you read was all like abhorrent.
That's what NBC said.
Because nobody black is saying that.
That's because they were.
I don't believe in censorship. I believe in the ultimate freedom of speech. I think the marketplace should decide. Don Imus is not the only shock jock who used this kind of terminology and these racist remarks. There are other people that use it. You set a dangerous precedent when you say that someone like Don Imus should be fired, because there are a lot of people out there who have not to look like Don Imus. It's easy to fire people like Don Imus and Savage and others, but we got to hold everybody to the same standard. We must establish what is the standard.
Let's fire anyone who makes racist remarks. Let's fire all of them.
Hold on, Armstrong.
Let's fire all of them then. I have no problem
And
with it.
then what? But in context of context of a comic, you should be able to explore any words you want to say. He messed up.
Would it be different if a black person said it?
Of course. I can say nappy-headed hoe all day. But right. I want to be able to call white girls straight-headed hoes anytime I feel like it.
Right.
Anytime.
And would you?
Of course.
And should you be punished for it?
Of course not.
All right, so Dr. Hale, are we overreacting here?
It's the same concept as banning weapons. One terrorist organization can infiltrate a country and then go set up, let's send some madman in there with a gun. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, since some random guy on the street did this, now we got to take everybody's guns. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. Patrice seen this coming from a mile away. And what is the number one thing going on right now? Censorship. Cancel culture. You can't say certain words. Ain't that right? This is what the fuck he was so outraged on this fuck. You guys see now? Back then you guys were like, oh, why is he defending Imus? Yeah, look at now. This is why.
But listen, if we start challenging that word, right, and we start to try to ban the word nigga and ban the word nappy-headed hoes, right, let me ask you, how? Who's going to suffer in the long run? It ain't going to be white people. You don't say nappy-headed hoe on a regular basis in the street. I might.
We know the history. The two people that are leading the effort now against Don Imus are the Reverend Jackson and the Reverend Al Sharpton. Now, we know in the case of the Reverend Jackson, we know his comments about Jews in New York. We know his admission about the treatment of food of certain customers when he used to, work at a restaurant. We know the white interloper comments of Al Sharpton. We know Al Sharpton said if the Jews want to get it on, tell them to pin their yarmulkes back and come on over to my house. Have you ever asked for their firing?
Firing from what? In 1988, when Reverend Jackson made the comment about Hymietown, he paid dearly for it. He also apologized.
I didn't ask you that. I asked, sir, wait, Dr. Hill,
you're saying fired. Fired from what?
Do you think they deserve to be on the national scene leading the effort against Don Imus, considering their background?
And this is what Patrice saying. He's not sitting there defending the right to call each other hoes and all that type of shit. He's saying, once you tell somebody to stop, now everybody gets to stop. And the people that's telling you to stop, themselves ain't gonna stop. Some dictator shit. So yeah, you wonder why, society, all these words in society is just used and all type of shit. They're popular to use. They play the cuss words and the slang words on the radio, pump them into the kids' heads, and then guess what they do? Arrest your ass for it. You see, that's what the fuck Patrice is talking about right here.
Okay, that's a different question. Absolutely. Absolutely. This particular... I think
Doctor,
anyone
do you see what he's trying to do? That's what they do. He's trying to make us hypocrites. He's trying to make us hypocrites. That's what I'm saying.
It's not about hypocrisy. It's about challenging someone who clearly spoke out in racist and sexist fashion. The issue here isn't Reverend Jackson, nor is it Reverend Sharpton. The person who should be under scrutiny here is Don Imus.
No. The people leading the effort. No. Here's the difference. If you're saying he should be fired, why shouldn't they be? Why shouldn't they, in your mind, be in the same category? If you can explain that to our audience, I'm all ears.
Now you see right here, Patrice and Hannity, they both know this dude's full of shit. That was I already know. Look, you know what I mean? This dude ended up on CNN and all type of shit though, so he's an agent. Patrice was seeing right through this guy, man. He was about to give Hollywood some trouble.
If this is how Imus is going to be treated, what about the people leading the charge? Is it fair? You say, well, you're trying to create this. Is there hypocrisy?
Divide and conquer. No. That's why
I'm not dividing and conquer. I'm saying
to prevent it from being that, let him say what he wants so I can say what I want.
You want everybody to say everything. You don't care.
Yes.
All right, but that's you're being, real and honest. But I'm saying, are they being hypocritical?
And sexist.
Are they being hypocritical? Hang on a second.
There's nothing hypocritical.
I'm asking Patrice.
Look, man, if you tell somebody something, how to say something, and you have made mistakes in your life, I can't use hypocrite. I gotta go back to the black community, Sean.
And there it is. And if you can't tell what's going on today of some radical shit that got in control of our damn country, telling everybody what they can say and what they can't say and all that type of shit, you would appreciate guys like Patrice O'Neal.
No, I'm saying it's wrong, but I'm also saying I think it's hypocritical. The guys that are leading the way have a history of making equally offensive remarks, but they seem to be getting a pass. And now, in an ironic sense,
if Jesse Jackson got a pass, we wouldn't be talking about it 19 years later.
Oh, but you're having a hard time saying that it's appropriate for this guy to be leading the effort. You don't find any irony there or any hypocrisy there?
Well, you're gonna be using OJ for the next 50 years to talk about, to compare it to any other white guy who does something.
You said something in the break, though, and I think you're right. Either everybody's wrong or everybody gets to say what they want.
Everybody says what, because the word does not The word nigga does not mean what it did in 1920, no matter what you say and when you say it.
But you and I had this debate once before. That word is meant to hurt. Period.
And it could hurt,
Yes.
but you just saying it doesn't hurt me because that implies that you're better than me.
What are you pointing at me for?
Because if I call you a cracker, it never meant nothing to you. It was almost like, thank you.
Yep, and it's the thing too where they can get rid of context just completely. Context can be getting rid of. And the funniest thing is that the language is a fucking curse. So deep down, we shouldn't be wanting to curse each other and all that type of shit. But this is an example of how they get people. You know, they teach you to curse and then they lock you up for it. You know what I mean? So whatever. Now this Imus thing, this happened in 2007 sometime. Now we about to check out a couple lives with Patrice O'Neal on Opie and Anthony. Shout out to them, man. Salute to my little brother too. He put me on them. Like, he's the real fan of these guys. Patrice and all them. I'm just doing it justice for him, bro. Like, I am a fan too, though. But let's get into this.
What do you think they are, then?
I'm thinking it's, you know me.
You think it's just some kind of fucking Illuminati plan these things to make it look like they're thwarting a lot of...
I think that war,
yeah.
We're moving out of war, and we're moving into something else. We're moving into a world where they're trying to get you to be, it's a global fucking ruler. Global ruling. The banks and everything else. And I just think they're moving a little bit out of war, because war is not the patriotic thing. War used to be necessary when we was split and cold and everything. But now it's like everything's becoming global, and I think they're just doing things to make it global so they could just start implementing their
So how does this do it? How does this help?
It's like Arizona, man.
Like
it's just, well, it's easy. You just, a couple of fucking Mexicans, murder a bitch in Arizona and lets people, whatever they call it, those fucking Chapter 206 and Rule 72 and fucking this. And let police, it's the fact that they're letting police now are Judge Dreads, man. Like, just
Judge Dredd.
Yeah, they could just be the law, and they could just tell you what the fuck to do, and then this douche, they're ready with their bomb unit in the smoky car that doesn't explode, and Bloomberg, who's a part of these motherfuckers, $7 billion motherfucker with his own network, and he's down with this shit. And he just goes up, and now they're going to shut Times Square. Now, big fat bitch from Newark is going to be telling me, give me ID to walk down each block.
Yeah,
eminent domain thing, man, where the government can just go, I want your shit.
We're taking that.
I don't even know how I own my house. I got paperwork, but if a motherfucker said this is mine, I'll be looking for some dude to help me. There's motherfuckers who work hard on conspiracy theories. And you put them together, you either go, this is stupid, or you go, makes a lot of sense and I believe it.
The thing is, and this is always what blows apart any conspiracy theory with me, who's behind it?
Banks.
Banks. So they all get together.
Yes.
And have these meetings and plan
the
this shit.
Bilderberg group, the fucking...
And they plan
it. The Foreign Affairs, the Committee for Foreign Affairs, it's these guys, they exist. They fucking exist.
So they're the ones.
Old fucking people who just want to run the earth. There's too many people. They want us to take fucking drugs and fucking vaccines that don't work. Hey, this fucking people who are doing that.
Patrice is talking the guy that gets in the movie, your brakes would give out on your way home.
I just believe it.
Yeah, that's what happened in the movie. Patrice's brakes give out.
Yeah, the more you start hearing him talk and all that, and look into this type of shit, you start thinking his brakes gave out. Just all of a sudden. You know what I mean? This is 2010 where he's talking too.
What happened?
I like what Ant's saying. If all this is true, what you're saying, you're going to have a rough ride home today.
It's too many. There's too many motherfuckers that's going to have a rough, because right now your boy on Fox is spitting that shit. Just because there's a black president, now he's spitting New World Order shit because Obama's in office, but it's all the real shit because I think racism trumps fucking conspiracy theories. It's just all.
But Patrice, the people who run government are not. This is the thing. They're not a higher species than us. They're the same dummies that we like. They're the same guys that walk into the bathroom after somebody else stinks it up and go
that's true. That's true, Jim.
I'm gonna have to disagree. The people in the government, the people that they run with are here trying to get your DNA. So they're eating the food that's on the planet that properly builds your DNA, right? Which is fruits, vegetables, all that shit that grows from the earth, while they feed you trash. Here, eat these chips. Whatever the fuck is in there is the DNA you got. All that bullshit they putting in all that shit is what we got. All right? So in terms of the flesh, they are higher species than you. But their frequency is literally low as shit.
And that's the thing. It's smart, like right. They're not that smart. It's the basis. I think that every idea has some validity to it. Like most ideas, there's some ideas that you go, that's just a bad idea. But the idea of the police is a great idea. The idea that somebody's there to help you when you're in trouble, and this is the right. idea of taxes to help you build shit. The idea of all this shit is great. But when people get the idea of government's fantastic. There's some people that smarter people, but it's the people that fuck up the idea. Every idea is great, but when you get a cop that's just overly indulgent in power, it becomes a bad fucking idea.
This right here, another perfect example of why they would not want him around. You know, why he would hurt their agenda rather than help it. They've been screaming defund the police through this whole shit. He believes the opposite. Now, a whole example, a whole theme of this whole video so far, right, is they put out one bad apple to justify silencing the rest of the apples, even the good ones, all right? Throw out all the good ones too because there's one bad one, all right? So a lot of people believe they set up a lot of bullshit to where some police did some goofy ass shit, and now it's, all right, we got to defund them all, which we already know this had a lot to do with some shit we can't really speak about too much. Borders, all type of crap, all right? Ain't.
Like a severe breakdown of food, water, things like that. Electricity. You're 3 days away from complete anarchy and chaos. But people will lose their fucking minds on an unprecedented level.
That's why the crazy, what's her name, Napolitano? The boss of the...
Napolitano, I think.
The leader of the Homeland Security. They're switching the focus from Arabs to the crazy guys in the hills.
And
those guys got it correct. They're not going to fuck you. When this shit starts fucking up, those dudes got it right. It's the fact that it's that racial angle that they always have to push. Those fuckers got it right. They build their own homes. They got their own water. They got their own supply. They do what motherfuckers did back in the day, even though that's not comfortable.
Now, if you peep what he just said, he said they are switching it from the Arabians to the crazy guy in the hills, which means at this time, like 2010, we was still in that 9/11 shit. So the news and all that was still attacking Arabs and all that, right? He said they switched it on to the people in the hills, like the crazy, so-called crazy people that live in the hills, and they got their shotguns, and whoever steps on their property, they're getting shot and all that type of shit, right? He just said they will pin racism on them. The people that are dependent of themselves and all that shit, independent, I mean, like who don't need to be under their system, the C word, I can't even use it, calm, whatever, be calm, right? He foresaw them demonizing the independents who don't need to be under the rulership. You know what I mean? This is great foresight. Like nobody else called that out that I've ever heard. Like I'm sure people have, but on his level and, you know, just a regular comedian and shit, he was seeing shit that they was really pulling. Like he was seeing that they're going after nature. If you think about the crazy man in the hills, so-called, that's nature. And if people really don't realize why nature is so crucial in this, they are inorganic. We are organic, right? So nature is beneficial to us. They are the opposite of that. All right? This is all a feed, an energy feed going on. So they focus on like the people that got it right in their head, the people that know better and shit, they demonize them, to keep you away from them. All right, look at them like they're crazy. Look at them like they're just idiots, eating leaves, eating tree barks, and you know, look at them like that. Don't look at them like they escaped the Matrix, which is what they really did. All right, Patrice O'Neal was This man was smart. Smarter, probably smarter. If you're watching this man's smarter than you knew going into this video. Salute.
But those guys got it right. We got it wrong because
they'll be the ones.
They control your shit.
Knowing how to survive. And
2 million people are under the control of the bacteria that they say that's in the water or whatever. We're just in control. We're being controlled by. That's what I'm saying. Why?
But we're not ants. We're not ants being controlled by a person. We're all. You understand? We're all on pretty much the same level. And like 2,000 years ago, we were throwing our own shit at each other, and now we have elevators and planes.
But 2,000 years ago, there was.
We're not headed towards this domination by a small group.
Yes, we
I
are.
don't believe that.
That's called feudalism. It's because back in the day, there was one dude running shit.
To be honest, it sounded like Patrice was about to tell us who the fuck was running shit. You notice he stopped saying what he was about to say.
Being controlled by. That's what I'm saying. Why? We're being controlled by. That's what I'm saying. Why?
I ain't gonna lie, Jim, you are dumb as hell back then. I ain't saying now, but salute to you. Jim Norton is funny as hell, but this dude, if you believe that everybody's just on this same level playing field and the DNA has nothing to do with anything, and you're just wrong, because how can you even look at life like that when some people never mature? Right there is just easy, irrefutable proof that everybody's not on the same level. Now I get he's just saying like, no, we're humans, and there's not like a species above us controlling us. But that's why I tell people they gotta learn about like what maturity is and what frequencies is and shit, because you are levels above certain people. We just ain't taught to understand that type of shit. It's hard to explain.
Back in the day, there was one dude running shit. And you go, holy shit, I can't do this. Right outside my door is 1 million angry motherfuckers. So what I got to do is create about 100,000 greedy motherfuckers who are better. Then you take 100,000 out that million, and they're better than 900,000 people, and give them shit. And they will stomp to say, look, you get the the non-bacteria water. All you got to do is step on the neck, push a couple of buttons, tell these 900,000 people that are slaves to money now, we're debt slaves, and then there's 100,000 people who are the haves, and they'll put their fucking William Shatner with his 600 million. You think he wouldn't kill your family, to keep $1 of his Priceline money?
Shatner.
He'll put his fucking foot on the neck. It's just people are fucked up.
I like how you're breaking it down.
But communism would have worked then. If that was the truth,
people fucked up communism.
But I'm saying communism would have won if that was the case. It's much easier to control people if everyone's getting paid the same, everyone serves the government. Communism would have won.
Communism fucked up because the people at the top didn't do the right thing.
They got more.
They were greedy.
And got greedy, right.
Okay, so it's the same people who are running communism are the same dummies who are supposedly going to run the world banks. Like, they're the same. They make these dumb decisions. They make mistakes. They go broke.
That's why they haven't done the big move yet, because it's just not enough of them to stop a panic of 5 million people. Like, as soon as they figure out how to fucking kill a few and control a few, that's why they're shutting down these eminent domain. They're getting all this land and then moving you and me or whatever to the side of the ocean where the trains are, so we can get on those trains and go where the fuck they're going to take it. It happened in Germany. Like, what the fuck do you think this shit can't happen?
You're not allowed to talk to Bill Burr ever again.
Now, Bill's into this shit, but, it's just the internet, because me and Bill don't really correspond about it. It's just there. A lot of people believe it. It's just there, dude.
Oh my God, dog. Do y'all hear this man? This man is talking. All right. Now, not too long after this, like the same year, September 10th to be exact, day before 9/11, he went to the most popular conspiracy guy show, Alex. I don't know if I can say dude's name and all that. But he went up there. He was so in tune with all this shit he be talking about. he got invited up there to talk. And let's check it out, bitch.
Patrice O'Neill, good to have you here in studio with us. You were, very early on, right when the Obama deception came out, when Obama was still like God, you were saying people need to see this Obama deception, and you were saying, hey, this shatters the left-right paradigm. And they were saying, what, Patrice, you support Bush?
Look, you can't. I think there's an instinct to people who believe in New World Order and globalization. There's an instinct. You don't have to be informed to have that instinct. It's like when I first saw, after The Family came out, I had a heartwarming feeling just to see the black family come out, and you go, wow, man, I'm alive to see that. But then they see the faces, and you see these faces, and you go, man, something's wrong. Like, you just have an instinct, like, why am I not as happy as I should be right now? That's the New World Order instinct. Then you go and you find certain things out. So I was I think I was on like 50cent.com. 50cent.com. 50 Cent has his this is 50. So you had the Obama deception thing right there as I'm watching something on 50, and I looked at it, man, and I'm like, I can't be an honest human being if I don't feel like this is touching on something. And I had the instinct of all of that, but that particular film opened me up to the whole thing. And the one thing, if I have to pick out one thing that got me going, was the fact that the Federal Reserve Bank is private-owned company. That, on the lowest levels, I have never gotten past that. If there's the eugenics and the globalization and all of this stuff, and out of everything that got me going and keeps my mind in that direction, is that the Federal Reserve is a private-owned company.
I will say most libertarians, most patriots that I know, the media would call right-wing, are not racist. The ultimate racist are the so-called liberals on the top, because when you actually read their writings, 80 years ago, they said, we've got to pose as liberals so the blacks trust us. And then you see the result, 51, let me ask you this, 51% of black people since Roe v. Wade have been killed before they're born. And then you go talk to the average black folks, they'll defend abortion like it's some liberal right. And I go, really? Liberal right to kill 51% of the black people?
Whew, that fool is talking. And this is, what, 12, 13 years ago? 12 maybe? Holy shit. We know it's all a energy harvest and all that shit, man. Patrice was really in these type of conversations, man. This man was not going to be anything other than a headache for these people.
Alex, this is the game. This is the problem. Okay, I'm just now looking at the Constitution. I tell you who got me looking at the Constitution was Aaron Russo. When he's like, democracy is that thing where he says two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. It changed my life. I think that's the most amazing quote I've ever heard that puts democracy in perspective.
Thomas Jefferson originally.
Well, that I heard from him. I give him but I'm looking at the Constitution, and for some reason, growing up black with just being black, the Constitution is poison words for black people because we feel we're not involved in it anyway. But the idea of freedom of the press and then freedom to carry arms, why it's important, and this is easy. It's because it's to protect us from a dictator. It's separation of state. When Bush took over the separation of not separation of state, but separation of
church and state.
No, the powers of the
separation of powers.
Yes,
you got
it. The House of Representatives and the president to protect us from a dictator. And all these things are trying to be destroyed so that a dictator can come right in and take over. But black people somehow in the system of just regular government, we feel ostracized from these words. We all, like even the crazy, what black people call the crazy crackers in the hills that say, we gonna kill you if you come on my property. Black people automatically think those people are crazy. But those people are the revolutionaries of our time. They live how the people who freed the country from England live.
They really call people who talk conspiracies like crazy and all that. But if you look at people who ain't into that type of shit and they're just real shallow people, or at least that's what they portray to be, the type of shit they're into, the type of shit they speak on, they do not have that type of passion that this man has right here. Call him crazy all you want, but that man believes in the shit he's talking about more than y'all. And I have to point out how he was really flying in this interview. This interview he did with dude, man. He was really killing it. Like, held his own is an understatement. This dude took over the show. Like, that's how powerful Patrice O'Neal is.
They think like that. But to a black person, whatever the news thing does, it makes us think that those people are insane and out to get me. That's the game they play so that black people don't get deep into the New World Order. Because
it's another divide and conquer.
It's a divide and conquer thing. Yeah, I was just going to say that more black people should be into this globalization game, the idea of it. But it's whatever the news does in this country, it's to separate. If you look at history, anybody that tried to bring black and white people together got killed. Anybody who...
As soon as Malcolm X stopped saying Whitey's the devil, boom!
As soon as he thought, whoa, wait, maybe I'm wrong, get your hand on my pocket, he got killed.
Bingo, right here, above everything else. This would be a reason they do not need him around. Bringing white people and black people together is bad for business in this movie. This all entertainment. I don't believe in none of this shit.
And, Martin Luther King got...
Same deal.
JFK, black people love JFK.
Well, he was for real.
He got killed. Jesus, Gandhi, anybody who tries to bring people together for the right reasons, they get off, man.
Now, in the rest of that, he got to talking about the shots, the H1N1, whatever the hell that's all that shit. I can't go into that at all on here. But he got down on that shit in this. You guys go check out that full interview. It's on YouTube. But now this right here, the InfoWar thing, this was September 10th, 2010. Okay? Now, exactly a year after that, he ends up on that Comedy Central roast. All right?
Our next roaster is Patrice O'Neal. I know some of these jokes may come off racist, which is why it's important to remember that Rosa Parks fought so Patrice could take 3 seats on the bus. So please welcome a guy who looks like Chris Farley after a mine shaft explosion, the very funny Patrice O'Neal.
William Shatner with his $600 million, you think he wouldn't kill your family, to keep $1 of his Priceline money? He'll put his fucking foot on the neck. You think he wouldn't kill your family, to keep $1 of his Priceline money?
Now that's just strange to me. He's so sure of that. I'm not saying like he's speaking on it as if it's a fact and he's just shooting the shit, but that's just a really funny thing to say about William Shatner's crazy fucking eyes wide shut partying ass. Fucking, he was doing that shit back in the fucking 40s. That fool been drinking blood out of a goat's ass with the bitch that did the voice for Betty Boop way back then. Another crazy thing is William Shatner is like this, I don't like the word agent, but he's this guy used and placed for the space program and all that stuff. And he's big on that liberal agenda, the climate change thing, right? So we know people who believe in that are useful to this new world agenda thing, and it's all entertainment. But people who are the opposite of that are not useful to the agenda.
It's just terrible, and I wish I had better news and more entertainment and jokes to tell you. But I was moved to tears by what I saw, and I come back overwhelmed by sadness and empathy for this beautiful thing we call Earth.
William Shatner appeared on Cuomo Primetime Thursday, just one day after traveling into space on Blue Origin. And the emotional 90-year-old actor revealed that since his return, he has been filled with dread over climate change.
We're at the tipping point. We haven't got time to wait 30 years and argue about a few $1 billion. Burying your head in the sand another instant about global warming and the destruction of the planet is suicide.
Now we know what Charlie Sheen means with Tiger Blood. We know he had issues with Denise Richards, who claimed some shit about him. And that's his daughter on the screen right there. Said it was an abusive household. So Charlie Sheen ain't, and he got the Corey Feldman shit. He got a lot of shit. So he, I don't know if Patrice was sitting there knowing that he might have been in on some shit. Who knows? This all entertainment. But yeah, for that roast to be exactly 1 year, September 10th, 2011, after Patrice's visit to InfoWars. Oh yeah, come on now. Think about it.
So I walk in with the Cowhead TV cameras behind me, and he borderline freaked out on me.
Oh no, it's not okay. Go
Pretty much.
Get out of my face
Like-
with Cowhead TV.
We just like to bring everything to the table right at once. So if you're a dick, you're a dick, and everybody knows about it.
See, now you should put yourself in a position as the camera person, right? Or the people doing that, to come right in and go, this is what we're going to do, because this is what we, as opposed to go, hey, is it okay if this camera that's already in your face is in your face longer with a smile?
Yes.
But your passive-aggressive people are really the villains.
I smiled.
I'm
and
with
I-
you.
I
Do you agree with that?
I do agree with
I
that.
smiled. It's better than me just being a dick.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
And Patrice freaks out on me, calls me passive-aggressive. Here's this angry black man yelling at me. What am I supposed to do?
Passive aggression is a bad part of society. Now, I'm not saying that's, well, yeah, that's what you did. But you were passive aggressive.
I was. I realize that now, and
Yes.
I apologize for it.
It's like,
I think you made her feel bad.
What got him so nuts? At one point, I thought Dinah was gonna cry.
I'm a big black guy, so to a white woman, this could be a tirade. No matter how low and reasonable I'm being, she could scream and go, oh my God, he just started flipping and kicking things.
It was. I do feel very threatened.
That's an easy way to get out of it. See, that's the thing. But you did take this whole thing in stride as a learning experience, and I actually think she wants to get better. But when you
Probably a
come
little
in,
lower, but oh,
when
sorry.
you came in and you go with him, and it was on to go, is it okay if? And I go, what was my option?
No,
To
it's
go
not
like
okay.
this?
Get out.
Yeah, no.
And I would have liked it. Honestly, I would have.
I'm a dick, but you don't even know my. I could be part of some tribe who's afraid of things like this.
That's
like
very
it could religiously, right? People have these weird superstitions.
That's a valuable point.
I could feel like this takes my soul. This takes my soul. Takes my soul.
Now you see that type of stuff right there, you could say, yeah, he's joking, he's playing, just making a point, which he is or whatever, but after all this stuff we went through in this documentary here, he just accidentally says shit like that. Like, you get what I'm saying? His soul is just so in tune. He just says shit like that. We never know what the fuck these cameras do. They've been created to really make you visualize and manifest bullshit that they want you to fucking manifest.
What is it that you're trying to do here? What do you...
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It ain't make money, because I'm stuck, Like everybody, Carlos was saying, I want to buy my mom a house. Yeah, I do too. Everybody want to buy.
Right.
But one thing I learned about this game early is it's a lonely game. It's a lonely journey. It's really hard. Like my mother didn't support me. She supports me now, but it's one of them things. It's like, this shit is a dream, and you ever try to. Dreams are something you do by yourself. You ever have a dream and then try to tell somebody the dream you had? You wake up and be like, hey, here's what I was dreaming. And they be like, really? Really? So, unicorns, and then what happened? That's the same thing as saying, I want to do something besides be what's already planned out. Plumber, doctor, lawyer, dentist. There's a plan. This thing here is like a leap of faith, and you just keep falling. Now, to answer your question, what I'm trying to do is be righteous. And when I say righteous, I don't mean God, God righteous. I mean, just when I wake up, I know I was honest to myself. You know what I mean? And I did the whole tap dance, dude. People be like, why do you play ball? I did it. I tap danced like you wouldn't believe. Aspen 1998. I mean, fucking like hot shoes, trying to get something. What does it mean to an end?
Yeah.
I was trying to get something. And I went to LA and I was sitting there, I was like 100 pounds bigger than I am now, dude. And I was sitting, and my stomach was like fucking sitting out here. And I had 2 Whoppers with cheese because they were 99 cents, dude. And that's all I could afford to eat every day was a Whopper with cheese. And it was just sitting on my stomach. And and if I had a gun, dude, I'm telling you, I'd have shot myself. I understand suicide.
Because you couldn't do the act the way you wanted to.
Because I was trying to get something from what I do. And I argue with a good friend of mine, Dante. He does a show with me. Because the whole show and the business thing, I'm in complete disagreement with that. It's just that, you know, I'm lucky enough to be able to get some money out of this shit, you know, out of this, what I do. But it's big, man. Comedy is big. What it is being political and having, like, because I more want to be a cult figure. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to see if I can get people to drink, you know, that poison lemonade or whatever.
Your cult.
I want to get people to believe in something, but not be on a platform where you should. I just want to go, look, man, this is how I feel. And if I'm true to myself, then you might go, damn, you know, I feel that way. And somebody's saying what I'm saying, and I don't want to be a martyr. I want to make some money. But I felt the feeling of trying to make it, and that vague make it, that emptiness of I made it. What's it? You know what I'm saying? So I just do it because when a guy says to me, dude, you know, man, you changed my life. That feels good. If a dude says you changed my life, or a woman says you changed my life for some goofy shit you did, you know, that means something. That's it. I wanna change lives, but not be profound about it.
They just wasn't ready for this man. You know, these people that's in power, they planned for centuries. The shit we've been watching, he's speaking on, this was like 12 years ago that he's talking about this shit. And the shit he was talking about 12 years ago is happening today. And then, you know, it's gonna be even worse in due time. But then look, even before his time, you could see their plan little by little. It just starts off real small and then it just gets out of fucking control. This all entertainment though. But all in all, as you guys see, this guy was definitely a glitch in their matrix. He was the glitch in their matrix. Everything he did went against everything that they've been planning. If you couldn't see it clearly in 2010, look it now. Everything, look it now. But surprisingly, we're just scratching the surface with this one. There will be a follow-up, because there is a lot more to be covered. See, I had no clue he was really like into that type of shit. Now, my brother, he used to play Patrice O'Neal and Opie and Anthony videos, and you would hear it here and there, but I didn't know that he was on it like that until I just started recently like going back into it. This dude was brilliant, man. Real brilliant. Shout out to all his fans. Anybody who's a fan of this man, y'all gotta be the realest. I'm telling you, have to be. Nobody who's faking, nobody who's hiding from their own bullshit, who's fucking, you know, playing a fucking role. They can never like a guy like this. Ever. But yeah, stay tuned for the follow-up. We will be going into a lot of other shit, you know, following the rabbit in this mug. You know, it's all entertainment though, but y'all let me know what y'all think up in the comments. I ain't woke, I'm up, bitch.
Crucial.
Trying to
hungry. I need some bacon, bacon.
Look at this. Look at it. This is the city I'm in right now.